Hey there, welcome to another episode of Good Coach, Bad Coach. Secrets the great coaches know that the other people will never, ever. I'm Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach. Come to you every Sunday night at the burtnetwork.com. Simply go to burtnetwork.com or coachburt.com and click on shows. Or if you're listening to us on iTunes, our podcast Republic, we thank you. This is a pure passion of mine, a show I've wanted to do for a long time. And I really created the show because many years ago I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the subtitle was What the Rich Teach Their Kids That the Poor and Middle Class Never Do. And I always tried to figure out why was that book so popular. 30 million copies sold, made Robert Kiyosaki an international superstar. And one day it hit me. What if I could take that premise and I could compare and contrast something I've done my whole life. From 15 years old I was coaching. At 18, I won my first championship. At 22, I was a head coach at one of the largest high schools in Tennessee. 25, I'd written my first book. By 31, I'd won a championship. And I wrote a book called The Anatomy of Winning, which is my fourth or fifth book. What if I could compare and contrast the habits of great coaches that the bad coaches will never figure out? And let me tell you this, friends, there are millions of bad coaches in the world. You know, it surprises me every day how many bad college basketball coaches there are in the world. Just because somebody played does not mean they'd be a great coach. And I've always said there's some great high school coaches that could flat out outcoach the college coaches any day of the week. If you've been following our program every week, last week I did the difference between a team and a program. Well, this week I'm tackling this subject. Great coaches are in the transformation business. Bad coaches are in the transaction business. Now, let me explain what this means. Transformation means that people come to you one way and they leave you another way. In essence, there is something that you have as the coach. You have a certain ability, connectivity. You have something, and in the way you take raw materials, which is the pure potentiality of a person, and you transform it to a fine-tuned killing machine, right? In essence, they come to you one way, they leave you another way. So think of when you're around certain people. Low energy, no confidence, insecure. And when you get around them, you think bigger, you dream bigger, you're ready to act. That's transformation. Good coaches transform raw materials from low thoughts, organized chaos, to organize destructive, constructive machines that go out into the world and dominate. A bad coach sees the player as a transaction. What can you do for me? Can you help me win more games? Can you help me get a salary increase? What can you do for me? It is purely transactional. You never take an emotional investment in the people you're leading. You don't care about them as people. They're just a number, man. And it don't matter who they are. But these are people who have a body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. So what is the system you use to transform people? This is very important. Very first thing you got to know is you have to make up your mind as a good coach that you are taking pure raw materials. You are the expert. And you are in the business of taking these low-level resources to higher levels of productivity. You know, yesterday on my show, Super Coach, it comes out this week on Tuesday. We call it the Greatness Factory because when I was at Riverdale, I used to call it the Greatness Factory. As I would take kids from all walks of life, they would come to me. Some of them were troublemakers. Some of them were on drugs. Some of them were in bad shape, run away from home, and I'd put them into the Greatness Factory and pump them out as winners. Now, how do we do that? I made up my mind that I was in the transformation business. And if you're going to be in the transformation business, you have got to give away something to your players. So what is it that you're giving away? You're giving away knowledge every day. You're giving away skill every day. You're giving away desire every day. Confidence every day. Perspective every day. Because you cannot give away what you don't possess. I think about people who have transformed my life. I didn't know all of them personally. Some of them, I read their books. and it transformed my life. I'm reading a book now called The Self-Made Billionaire Effect. And since reading that book, guess what? I'm thinking bigger. My mindset's bigger. I'm looking at scalability models. What separates me from the billy killers in the world? See, here's the deal, man. That book's transforming my life. But what if I got to spend time with the authors of that book every day? You see, on average, I spent 5.5 hours a day per day with my players, sometimes 6 and 7 days a week, for a length of 4 years. Now, what kind of impact could I have over a person if I spent that much time infusing my energy, my knowledge, my skills, my confidence and swag into them every single day? Just through pure osmosis, they should get a little bit better. But if you give it to them in a systematic way, what you do is you take somebody who don't have any belief, totally insecure, no confidence, and just with your pure energy, you can make them think they can do anything. One of the things I prided myself on when people ask me today, when you look back over your coaching career, what did you really do? I made people believe they were better than what they really were. In essence, I got them to believe that they could do things they didn't think they could do. And that happens by being in the transformation business. When we come back in the second segment, I want to show you what a bad coach does, because here's some hints. They yell, they scream, they cuss, they run. They use a lot of fear tactics. And I know this is part of coaching high school kids, part of coaching adults. But if you really want to transform somebody's life, you got to have more in a tool shed than just a bunch of yelling and screaming and cussing. You're watching The Good Coach Show every Sunday night on the BurtNetwork.com. Brand new network. Can't wait to get my buddies having their own shows on there. You can watch The Pressure Cooker. You can watch Good Coach, Bad Coach. You can watch Zebras and Cheetahs, Swag TV, Person of Interest TV, and The Super Coach Show, all at the Burt Network. Come on back in segment 2, my friend, and I'm going to show you what a real transactional coach look like and why they're probably getting ready to get fired. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt here. I believe everybody needs a coach in life, and that's why I'm inviting you to join me in the Big Apple, baby. The monster city on the planet, New York City, April 17th and 18th. Spend 2 days in an immersion type experience with me at my Monster Producer Summit. I'm going to teach you the 7 frameworks of a monster producer. I'm going to teach you how to take monster action, a monster explanation of services, monster selling system, how to get monster attention, how to keep your monster swag, and ultimately how to build a monster enterprise. For $499, join me at the Sheraton, New York City, Times Square for 2 days, 8 hours. Spend some personal time with Coach. If you're serious about being a legendary creature this year that dominates every field by combining multiple skill sets. Go to CoachBurt.com or email us at info@CoachBurt.com to sign up at $4.99, 2 days with me. This will be a monster experience. Welcome back to Good Coach, Bad Coach. One of the highlights of my week is getting to do this show, Good Coach, Bad Coach. We do lots of shows, but nothing is in my wheelhouse more than this one right here. From the time I was 15 years old, I've been coaching. And my story, if you don't know it, is when I was 6 years old, I was raised by a single mother. She had me when she was 16 years old. We didn't have any money. We literally lived in a one-bedroom house where the living room and the bedroom were the same room, and the kitchen, I think, was in there. So many times when she was putting herself through nursing school, she used to take me down to the local ball field, and that was my babysitter, probably some free babysitting too. And there were coaches that would take me under their wings when I was 5 and 6 years old. Mickey Vincent was one. Ronnie Vickers was one. All of these people, Teddy Taylor was one. And I would spend hours and hours and hours at the local ball field watching those coaches and the impact they had on people. And at 6 years old, Mickey Vincent, a female coach coaching a bunch of little kids, said, son, one of these days you're going to grow up and be a coach. So in my life, I've been coaching since I was 6 years old, formally started coaching at 15. So this is really all I've been doing all of my life. Now, I can't fix a car. I can't cook. I'm geographically illiterate. But one thing I can do, and I've been blessed to do, is coach other people. But that's not the end of the story. The reason I'm bringing you this show is because I now have a 2.5-year-old daughter. I don't want my daughter to have a bad coach, because if she does, she's going to digress, retreat, be insecure, get left behind. She's not going to mature and reach her deepest human potential. I don't care if it's her math coach or her band coach or cheerleading coach or sport coach. I need her to have a good coach. If you're a manager in the world, we have a program called Turn Your Managers into Coaches. I'm actually doing this with one of the biggest brands in the world, Churchill Mortgage, of taking their managers and turning them into coaches. And so if you're interested in programs like that, we can come in and teach you. Now, what's the byproduct? More engagement, better production, better morale, a great relationship. See, people don't wake up and say, man, I can't wait to go get managed today. But they do say, I can't wait to run through the wall for a great coach. There was a scene at the end of the show. I don't know if Lauren K. Hudgens saw it at the end of the Super Bowl. But that's where one of Belichick's players came over to him, and they caught it on tape, where he said, Coach, I would run through the wall. I would do anything in the world for you. Thank you for helping us win a championship. And in that moment was pure transformation. See, that professional athlete that's making millions of dollars a year saw that man as somebody that helped him play at another level. Good coaches are in the transformation business. But remember this, you can't give away what you don't possess. So I've even asked Lauren, my number 2, many times, why there's so many damn bad coaches in the world. You know why there is? They don't study. They don't read. They don't get better. They're closed-minded, narrow-minded, paranoid, schizophrenic freaks. Okay? I know, because a lot of them are my friends. I can't tell you there's not a more paranoid group in the world than coaches. Everybody's out to get them. Everybody's out to fire. Let me let you in on a little secret. Now that I'm not coaching anymore, half the population could care less whether you win or lose, okay? It's important to you. It's important to your team. So don't freak out so much, right? Take it serious, but don't take it so serious that you can't understand. Keep it in perspective. When I go to ball games now, look, I go for entertainment. I eat popcorn. I drink Coca-Colas. I eat a little candy, whatever the case. I'm there to be entertained. I'm not there to watch the coach. I'm not there. Now, having said all of that, I'm not saying don't be serious about your business. Don't impact kids. Don't impact the world. Don't use sport as a vehicle for life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying don't be so damn paranoid, guys. Don't be so freaked out. Everybody's not out to get you. They don't care as much about you as you think. That's all ego talking, and I know because I used to be one. So here's the deal. Good coaches in the transformation business. What does that mean? One of the secrets that I used as a championship coach to build a winning program was that I went over to the business world and I pulled business principles to the athletic world. In essence, I went over here and became a student. And I studied books like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The Principles of Good to Great, The 5 Dysfunctions of Teams, Self-Made Billionaires. And I brought that over to the athletic world. Now, let me tell you, the coach that did that the best this year in college football was Urban Meyer at Ohio State. He brought in an expert and said, how can we connect with these kids better? They are the geese laying the golden eggs. I can't tell you how many transactional coaches that are out there that actually create adversaries between themselves and their players. And they don't even understand. It's not me versus you. It's us in the same boat. There's nothing worse than your own players shutting down on you because they don't believe in you. See, transaction is when I see you as a thing. All you are there is just to do something for me. There's nothing I'm doing for you. That's transaction. And transactional coaches yell, cuss, scream, throw things, kick things. They never would ask a player, how's your life going? What can I do to be a better coach for you? How can I connect better with you? See, a transactional coach would never do those things. Transformational coach would do this. What can I do for you? How can I help you? What are your goals? How can I get you to the next level? How can I sow a little seed into you to help you become great? That's transformation. See, in these deals, you're the leaders, guys. You're the leaders. And I heard this just the other day, and I'm going to say it again. Mike Hardwick, founder of Churchill, said this. Your people are silently begging to be led. They want a coach. They want somebody to come in there and spend time with them. Now, a couple of years ago, I worked for the university. I'm not going to name the university, but it was a big one. And I walked in on day one, and I interviewed the sports psychologist and the trainer, which told me all kinds of things about the relationship the players had with their coaches. And here's what the trainer said. Coaches don't like the players at all. Here's what's worse. Players don't like the coaches at all. Coaches don't like the players at all. They're on two ends of the spectrum. They won't talk to each other. They really hate each other and despise each other. And here's what I said. No wonder you're losing, man. You ain't going to win when all your players hate your guts every day. They're gonna sometimes dislike you because you push them, but they can't hate you. And so many coaches build this true adversarial relationship. Now, a lot of this starts with the parents who have planted seeds in the child's mind that are unrealistic, that says the coach is crazy. Parents, you need to quit that. I need to do a show for parents because they are a group of people that will screw this thing up faster than anything. Most parents played ball in 1975. They have no idea what they're doing. They definitely don't need to be in the business of coaching their kids. They need to let the coaches coach and the players play, and the parents need to sit up there and eat popcorn and candy and watch the ball game and have fun and keep the little toddlers from running around. That's what parents need to be doing. Good coaches transform low thoughts of value to high thoughts of value. Insecurity into confidence. Lack of clarity into focus. Lack of discipline into discipline. Bad coaches cannot do this for one reason. They don't even have it themselves. They're unorganized. They don't have any confidence. They don't have any clarity. And here's the deal. They hadn't read a book in the last 15 years. They hadn't gone to anything outside of a coaching clinic where you hear the same old garbage over and over and over. Because the $1 million coaches won't tell you the best stuff, man. They won't tell you what they're doing out of fear and paranoia that somebody will copy it. Guess what you can't copy? You can't copy greatness. You can't imitate the people that are the best at what they do. I don't care how hard you try or how much you try to mimic it. You can't copy somebody else's greatness and work ethic and hustle. So today's show has been about one thing. Are you in the business of transformation? Do you see your players as the geese that are laying the golden eggs? If you're a manager, are you investing in your people? Or are you hanging them out to dry, seeing them as things that can do something for you? This is a two-way street. This is a dialogue, not a monologue. This is dialect back and forth. How can you help your people get to the next level in their life? Transactional coaches yell, scream, kick, throw things, and motivate through fear because guess what? You're just a thing to me. You're just something to me that can help me advance my career, and it'll never, ever work that way. If you want to study my philosophy, it's real simple. Go to CoachBurt.com. I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. A good coach will have conversations with you don't want to have. They make you do some things you don't want to do, but they'll help you become something you didn't think you could become. Follow me at Twitter, at Micheal Burt. You can watch all of my shows at the Burt Network, burtnetwork.com. And if you want to get better at being a coach, quit blaming your players and your staff and your people and take a good hard look in the old motivational mirror, my friend, and ask the $1 million question. Could you get excited about playing for you? This is Coach Micheal Burt. Go out there and be a great coach this week.